friends, Jan of Jan Hicks Creates here. It's been a little while, but just a little while. 3 months, give or take. That's okay. How are you all doing? Welcome to those who haven't been here before. I'm glad you're here. I hope you enjoy what I have to show you today. And welcome back to those who've been around for a while. Lots of stitching to show you. Of course, most of it is mine because that's what I spend the majority of my time doing. My designs, I mean. For those who may not know me, Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates. I am a cross-stitch designer and soon to be a store owner and retreat organizer in France. Let's see, lots to tell you about today. Most of it will focus on the market coming up, Nashville Needlework Market. I will talk about what's happening as far as the move and kind of what our timeline is at this point. If you're interested, I'll do that at the end because I know a lot of you are here for the stitching and not so much the personal stuff. So those that are interested in the personal stuff, you can either skip to the end or watch through all the stitching and then enjoy the personal stuff. Probably not a whole lot of photos to show you at the beginning of this. We have been staying put here in Arizona. We've been here since we got back from the Canada Loop since October. We are leaving in 2 weeks to head east. Nashville, stopping a few places on the way, and then further east to France. But like I said, I will share all of that at the end. So the main scoop today is my releases for Nashville. I have shown them on social media channels so far, and I wanted to have a recording of them here and give you more details than I usually write in the write-ups on social media. So I'm going to dive right into that. I also have some the releases that I did in January that I'm going to show you because I didn't get a video done, and then I have a few goodies to show you, and then it'll be the personal stuff. So I'm going to start with what is my favorite release and what appears to be your favorite release as well. And that is my lady's Posies. This is a original / reproduction sampler. I'll put it that way. Let me give you a little bit closer of a look. So the reproduction part is the floral piece as well as the border in the middle. This was a from a powder compact that I had gotten while we lived in San Antonio, an antique powder compact. And the floral piece was the top of the compact, decorated the top of the compact, and it was stitched on silk gauze, so it was very small. The interesting thing I found as I started to chart this, and charting it was a bear because the stitches were very small, but the interesting thing is that pretty much each one of these flowers is a different set of 4 colors. So 4 purples, 4 reds, 4 oranges, 4 creams, 4 pinks, 4 blues, 4 neutrals. I mean, it like runs the gamut. And then the gorgeous kind of swirly border around the outside. I did stitch these in hand-dyed fiber silk by Vicki Clayton, and just a joy to stitch this and to see these flowers come alive. I wanted it to have a, I guess, kind of more of a medieval feel. Somebody called it on social media, somebody said it strikes them as being a romantic piece, and I have to agree with that. So the alphabet is more of a formalized alphabet that I chose, kind of like I said, a fancy or medieval type feel. Maybe not medieval, maybe Renaissance. And then I pulled borders from some other samplers that I have. I think actually these borders, I think they all might have come from CRS 1713, my big, long German sampler. So I have gotten tremendous response to this. Vicki Clayton does have the silk pack set up in her shop. So if you are interested in going ahead and buying the silks, again, the name of this is My Lady's Posies. I will put a link down below to where you can find these in her Etsy shop. Like I said, if you're interested in going ahead and buying the silk, she also has some fabric that she thinks is her own hand-dyed fabric that we think is pretty equivalent to what I've used here, which is Haberdashery Dark by Mason Linens, and this is stitched on 40 count. So yeah, I will put the link to Vicky's Silks down below if you want to go ahead and make that purchase while you are waiting for the chart to come home from Nashville. If you are interested in any of my Nashville releases, or really anything I am showing you here today, like I said, the other ones I'm going to show you are my January releases. Go ahead and let your favorite shop know if they are coming to Nashville. This is a Nashville exclusive, so if they are coming to Nashville, they can go ahead and put a pre-order in for you and pick it up at Nashville. If they happen to not be coming to Nashville, this one they won't be able to get from the distributors or from me directly until April 7th. So, my ladies' Posies. Just keep that in mind if you're ordering. If they happen to say they're not going to Nashville, you will have to wait a little bit longer, but I have a feeling that you probably have other things in your stash that can keep you busy in the meantime. So, yeah. I am thrilled with it. I'm thrilled with your response to it. So my ladies' Posies is the first one. The next one I'm going to show you is called Liberty Drum and Pincushion. And my thanks go out to Sean LaFleur for stitching the models for me on this one. So this has the words liberty, equality, fraternity, highlighting the French motto. Let's see, what can I tell you? You can see eagles here. I pulled the, kind of keeping with the French theme, I pulled the floral motifs from this and the little fruit baskets from my French reproduction sampler, Louis Chapuis, 1855, 1844. I get the dates mixed up. This uses over-dyed floss, cotton floss, and this is stitched on, oh goodness, I'm going to test my memory. This is stitched on R&R Reproductions 40 count Winter's Brew. So the finishing is by my friend Maria Kutzner, who does an amazing job with her finishes. And as many of you know, she's now designing, so she will also have her new designs at Nashville, and I'm so excited for her first time at Nashville. So the drum and then the pincushion. And yeah, these are a little larger than maybe you would usually do for a drum and pincushion. The drum stitch count is 270 by 85, and this is 93 by 93. Again, overdyed cotton floss on Winter's Brew, 40 count by R&R Reproductions. I love the kind of mattress finish that Maria did here. I just think this is, and it has a nice weight to it. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous finish. All right, so this is also a Nashville exclusive. So again, let your stores know that you want to add this to your stash. If they are attending market, they will be bringing the patterns home with them from market in the middle of March. Whenever their market day is, or you can pick it up. The stores know all those details. They can share them with you. I did want to also say one thing that I forgot to put in my newsletter. I did announce it on social media, but in case, just in case it comes up in your conversation with the stores, my cutoff date for pre-orders is close of business February 21st. So please have your orders into the stores before then. All right, that's those stacks of stuff. I'm gonna go with the small one in front of me first because it's easier. Spring Sunshine. This is one of my seasonal series. This actually debuted in the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I have winter out, and now I have fall, winter, and now spring, and I will be putting summer out, I think, in May. So these smalls are stitched with overdyed cotton floss. Don't remember which. I think this is Mayflower by Fox and Rabbit, 36 count. 40 count maybe. I think this one's 40 count. So like I said, this is a series and most of them are out now. Okay. This is an antique reproduction. We're going to pause here while the jets fly over. They have a tendency to be a little noisy, coming out of Luke Air Force Base. This is called Birds on the Temple, and it is an antique reproduction. For this, I stitched with the Gentle Art Simply Wool threads. If you remember, I stitched an earlier release called AK, told you I can't remember dates, AK 1895, 1885. That was a marketplace reproduction, or a marketplace release in August. I stitched that with the Simply Wool threads, and I fell in love with them. And I will continue to use them periodically because I think they're fun to work with, they're different, they're easy to work with. They're thicker than DMC, so you have to stitch on 32 count. You could probably stitch on 28 with still getting good coverage. You can see what the coverage is on 32 count. You could maybe try them on 36 count. To me, I think they would be a little tight, but the 32 count is perfect. This is, let's see. This is Needle Bling's Shrekie's Tan. Needle Bling Designs fabric. Shrekie's Tan 32 count. I named this Birds on the Temple, even though there is initials and a year date, at least 90. Assume that's 1890. I did name this Birds on the Temple because the thing that struck me the most is the birds sitting on the temple. But this is a reproduction, an antique sampler reproduction. If I remember correctly, I'll put a picture of the antique in here. The Gentle Art, the company will be at market, and they will have thread packs. Again, something I forgot to put in my marketing newsletter to stores. They will have a thread pack set up for this design. So if you are interested in this, again, let your store know, put in a pre-order, and also let them know that you'd like to order the thread pack from the Gentle Art. And like I said, they will have a quantity of them in their room at market. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Last but not least, I think I'm going to put you down here. I have my first book coming out at market. You will remember that I think starting in 23 into 24, I released the individual vintage Christmas alphabet ornaments. For this year, I am releasing a book. It will have the charts for the individual ornaments, so if you missed those or haven't gotten them yet, you will have all of the individual ornaments in the book, but you will also have, I don't know how well this is showing, you will also have the chart. I'm trying to see what it's showing. The chart with all of the alphabet put together. This is stitched on Atomic Ranch's Mellow Stone 40 count, and it was stitched by Sarah Marchuk, who did an amazing job and a very quick job for me to get this done in time, and I appreciate that so much. You will see down in these bottom corners things that aren't just the alphabet. I created 2 other designs to fit in the corners to square out the entire design, using some of the same motifs from the alphabets, some of the same alphabet letters themselves from the alphabet ornaments is what I meant to say, to make this a whole square piece. Again, just uses the 3 colors of DMC, 729, 498, and Beep. I think after using it for so long, $3.19. That's what it is, the green. Let's see. Oh, so these pieces that I created to fit in the corners to complete the square would also make great smalls. So that's another option. If you want to just make the individual ornaments, you could also stitch these corners as smalls to also add to your tree or add to your Christmas bowl. So you get all of the charts for all of the individual ornaments. You get the chart for the big piece, but wait, there's more. For a mere $19.99. Actually, it's more than that. We'll talk about that in a second. I also designed, oh, that's the wrong one, sorry. Another little piece. This is a band sampler. I love band samplers. Went away from the red, green, and gold color theme, finally, right? Needed to get away from that for this one. Stitched it with NPI silks using, wait, let me look, Needle and Flax Steinbeck, 40 count. So this is the third design that you will get in my Christmas book. And this is a quick little stitch, again, using the borders and the alphabet from the ornaments, so it all coordinates. If you wanted to do this in the 3 colors, I'm sure you could, but I needed to get away from that. So this is called the Vintage Christmas Band Sampler. The book itself is called The Vintage ABCs of Christmas, and that's what the big piece is also called. It is a pricey book. It is going to be $30 retail, but there is a lot to it. So again, if you are interested in ordering that, get in touch with your store, put in a pre-order, and tell them Jan sent you. Yeah. So that is all of my market releases. That went very fast. I think it went fast. 17 minutes, that's not bad. All right, so the other designs I wanted to show you from January. Move these around someplace. I released 2 Valentine ones, the start of a series, and a big one. And I'm gonna start with the big one. This is called With Needle and Thread. And I love this one. I love Quakers, and I know many of you do as well. So this one I wanted to celebrate the different things that we get from stitching. And I think there's many, all of us get many different things from it. So for me personally, it was these things as stated on here. And you can see the floss that I used for the words, for the sentiments, is a darker, stronger floss, because I really wanted those to stand out from the Quaker motifs. So the flosses that I used are Classic Colorworks Really Tealy and the Gentle Arts Heirloom Gold. And those are probably my 2 favorite colors of floss in the over-dyed cotton industry. So that, and they just look gorgeous together. So that was kind of a no-brainer for me on what I was going to use. The fabric is Forbidden Fiber Arts Toasted Coconut, I believe, and it is also 40 count. I would like to encourage you, if you're going to stitch this, to pick your 2 favorite floss colors and use those. And I would recommend that the floss you use, the color you use for the words, is the darker, stronger of the 2, so that those really stand out from the motifs. So that is With Needle and Thread. The series I started is called 4-Letter Words. And my first 4-letter word is give. So these are 4 positive words that I'm sharing with you in these designs. This again is stitched with over-dyed cotton. And this is Fox and Rabbit's white clay, 40 count. My inspiration piece for this was a, oh, you know how they have these like metal wall hangings that have different shapes on them and different motifs. That was my inspiration for these. And the one I saw particularly had four sections, and within each section there were all these different things. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that I like designs in boxes. I don't know why. There is something about designs in boxes that really appeals to me. So that's what I did with this. So we have 4 words: give, grow, hope, and love are the 4 words. I also have a set of smalls, pillows designed that coordinate with this, that are 3 additional words. Those will all come out later in the year. There's a lot of this that is full coverage within the squares, which I think is kind of fun and gives some different texture and depth to the piece. So this is 4-letter words: give. And then my 2 Valentine pieces. In My Heart Red. Again, if you know my catalog, you know I have a one that's called In My Heart. That is done in blues. This is the same basic idea with a heart shape with borders behind it, but I did these all in reds. And let's see. This is stitched again with overdyed flosses, and this is Atomic Ranch's Freeze 40 count. And Freeze is a gorgeous color. It has bits of pinks and greens in it. It's a beautiful color fabric. This one, I hope I can get this without too much glare. Oh, not too bad. This one also uses Freeze. This is called Hearts Grow with Love. But you can see I centered the design on one of the green areas in the fabric, and this one is on one of the pink areas. Just a gorgeous fabric. In My Heart, or Hearts Grow with Love, is stitched with Belle Soie, Classic Colorworks Belle Soie. This is my first time using Belle Soie. Again, a gorgeous, gorgeous fiber to work with. And like I said, this is on Atomic Ranch's Freeze. So you can see there's kind of hearts there, rather kind of like bleeding hearts, the flower bleeding hearts, but it's actually hearts. I love bleeding hearts. Beautiful spring flower. So yeah, like I said, these just came out in January. So if you've had your eye on them and haven't made that purchase yet, you can let your store know that you would like one, all, go for it. And they can add that to the pre-order for Nashville and then bring it home. I can make sure that I have copies of them to take home from Nashville. Okay. That's the stitching. Well, that's the my stitching. I do have one thing to show you that is not mine, that I've been working on here and there when I feel like I'm caught up enough to stitch on something else. And that is Patchwork by Jan Haltman. So this particular design, I'm going to hold up the bag behind it. This particular design is designed in a bunch of different colors. Each motif, I think, is a different color. I decided that I wanted to do it more as a rainbow, and I'm doing rainbow on diagonal. So I have got the reds, the pinks, and the oranges. I think I still have some more orange to put in. You can see I'm part of the way done with this motif. I have some more oranges to put in down here. I have one yellow one up here, so I'll come back up and start working the yellow in. I can't wait to get to the blues and greens, because I'm sure, as many of you probably know, those are my colors. But yeah, when I get a chance, I pick this up and put some stitches in it. I will put a link down below. You can find this as a PDF on Etsy. I will put a link down below to the product on Etsy, so you can find it. If I forget any of these things that I say, I'm going to put a link down below. If I forget, just remind me, leave a comment and remind me. I try my best, but with so much going on, my best often isn't good enough. All right, goodies that I've gotten. First and foremost, I want to thank Cindy Gordon, Farmhouse Flossies and Such, for sending me her line of farmhouse flossies. This is not all of them. She said she sent me about 2/3, the ones she had in stock. I have already pulled some of them, and I'm stitching on a piece that will come out in the summer using them. Gorgeous, gorgeous flosses, gorgeous colors. Cindy, these are a real joy to stitch with. I love the variegation. Some of them are a little bit more variegated. You can see like that one there. Some of them are more tonal, and are just gorgeous. The color flow is just gorgeous in them. So thank you, Cindy. And if you get a chance, get over, again, I'll put Cindy's website below. So you can go and try them out for yourself. All right, other goodies. When the floods happened in North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee, Sassy Jacks and Jackie Duplessis came up with a design to raise money for the victims of the flood. And that is this. It's called Rise Above the Waters. It's a little needle pocket. And it's a kit that has all you need for finishing as well. Really, really cute. It has the acorn and the squirrels, which is Sassy Jacks' logo. There is also from Kathy Ray an acorn thread keep. And this says, it's hard to see, but that does say Rise Above the Waters. So that's a sweet little kit that I will work on eventually. I mostly got it to support Kimberly, Sassy Jacks, and also to support as much as I could the victims of those floods. I have been a member of the Threads of History Club from Country Sampler, and this is one of their recent releases. This is Needlework Press Eliza Taylor. Comes as a complete kit, so you have the chart and then the fabric and the threads. I will be canceling this, of course, because I don't want this to be mailed to France, because it would cost an arm and a leg to get it into the country. But another gorgeous offering by Country Sampler, and one of the many denizens of samplers to create a gorgeous kit for us. Threads of History Club is the name of the club, so if you're interested in it, I don't know if they have openings yet or not. They will have one, because I will be quitting it. I haven't let them know that yet. If you're interested, give them a call and see if you can join. They're also starting, I believe it's by Stacy Nash, something called a Red House Club. So again, I don't know if they have any openings, but it sounds intriguing. I get an email from a shop called The French Needle. It is an online store. It's actually located here in the States, but she gets a lot of products from Europe. And every once in a while, I will buy stuff. And so what I bought was this book, Univers Douai. I don't know what Douai means. I am learning French, but slowly but surely. So this is just all kinds of sweet, little interesting Christmas patterns and winter patterns. From, I think, all French designers, if I remember correctly. Trying to find it. The French, I find, have a very clear aesthetic. I think, you know, regardless of which French designer it is, I think when you see a design, you can pretty much always tell when it's French. Do you agree? So, that is that little book. I may or may not be carrying them in my store in France. I don't know where to start as far as buying stuff for the store. I don't know whether there's a distributor like there is here to get the stuff from. There's a lot I don't know. It's all a learning process. And I also got this chart. It does have the fabric. I probably won't use the fabric in it, but it is Véronique Auginger. I love her. She has a series of botanicals, and I love her botanicals. And this is the Lenten Rose, which hellebore, which I love that flower. So that is the goodies that I've gotten. So this is a an antique that I picked up. Hopefully this isn't too dark for you to see. Too late now. Off of eBay. You can see it came on the stand, which I thought was amazing. And then this very delicate, it's a memorial sampler. The things that caught my eye, well, the main thing that caught my eye, besides the fact that it was on the antique stand, is the date, November 22nd. That is my mother's birthday. Many of you know I lost my mother many, many years ago. I was 28 and she was 54 when she died. So seeing the date of her birthday on this just was like, all right, that's mine. I immediately went, buy it now. This has muted, as always, muted colors on the front and much brighter colors on the back. I will probably provide 2 colorways. Many people love the colors on the back, which I do too, but I also love the colors on the front. And what I plan on doing, there is, it's hard to tell what the initials are. GFC maybe on the top. Very fancy floral. I'm going to try and find an alphabet that is very similar to that and provide the whole alphabet, and I will personalize mine with my mother's initials, and then I'll also provide what you need to personalize the birth date, well, this may be a death date, but whatever date you want to put on there, I will provide the letters and the numbers to personalize that as well. Some point in the next year or so. But I think this will look amazing in my antique French home. So that is all I have to show you for the stitching. If you want to stay and hear about what's happening with our move, this is where you stay, or this is where you leave if you don't want to hear about that. So if you are leaving, I thank you for coming and visiting with me for a little bit. I hope you saw something that you liked here. Let me know if you have any questions. And like I said, if I have forgotten to put anything down in the description box that I said I would, just give me a holler, leave a comment, and I'll correct my error. All right, the move. Today is the 10th. Can't even see my watch. Today is February 10th. We leave on February 23rd and start heading east. Yeah, so we are heading to Dallas first. I will be visiting with Maria there. I don't know for sure if I'm going to the Stitch Niche or not. I will be picking up another model, hopefully, from Sean LaFleur. She is working busily away on another very big model for me, which I appreciate so much. After that, we're going to go to New Orleans and spend a couple days in New Orleans. We love the city, and we love just walking around the French Quarter, just taking in the ambiance. And I don't know if I'll be going to Accents Inc. while there, but after that, then we will be heading to Nashville for market. That is from the 6th to the 9th of March. From there, we head further east. We'll be heading over to DC. At that point, hopefully, fingers crossed, we will have all that we need to, and we will have an appointment to submit our paperwork for our visas. So this has been quite a process, and as I get frustrated, Mike and I just remind each other, welcome to French bureaucracy, we'd better get used to it, because it's slow. We lost a lot of time from mid-December to January 6th because, you know, basically the French were on vacation, which is fine. But I'm not getting emails back as quickly as I would like from the person who is helping us with this visa. And it is a big deal because we've paid her a lot of money. I have the statutes set up for my business that had to go to a lawyer and be written up by a lawyer and then sent to somebody. We had to put down an investment is what it's called for the business, and that was another huge chunk of change. So all that has happened. That paperwork then goes to the helper, the person we hired to do the visa process for us. She sends my business plan and that paperwork from the lawyer to the Ministry of Economy in France. That was supposed to have happened last week, and I haven't heard anything. I kind of would have liked to have an email saying, okay, it's been submitted. Perhaps she didn't feel that was necessary. I don't know. I'm waiting for an email. So yeah, hopefully all is going smoothly, and we are hoping that 12 or 13 March will be the day to submit the paperwork to get the visa in DC. It takes who knows how long, a week, 2 weeks, it depends, we hear different things. We will be staying at a campground outside of DC, to the north of DC for that period of time, waiting for the visas to get done. And then while we're there, we're going to visit the museums down in DC that we either want to see again, like I'm sure Mike would love to go to the Air and Space Museum again, or that we haven't been to yet, like the Holocaust Museum. Hopefully visiting with some of my friends from where we lived in Maryland. Hope to see them again before we fly. Getting the paperwork done for Nina. So the paperwork process to get an animal into France is pretty much the same as getting an animal onto the islands of Hawaii. We already have had her rabies shot updated, her microchip updated. 10 days before we fly, we have to get a certificate of health from the USDA saying that she is healthy enough to fly, and we get that through a vet. So we will be visiting a vet there in the DC area. Once we have that, let's see, we're also selling our camper there and our car there. Repacking everything, or packing everything, getting a rental vehicle, heading up to Newark, New Jersey, where we fly over to France. I'm panicked at times. I won't deny that. I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm stressed. I am all the emotions. And then you add in market. All of my market work is done. I'm just waiting for orders to come in at this point. But the whole France move thing, yeah, it's getting real. So yeah, we fly on April 3rd. We get into Orly. We're not flying into Charles de Gaulle this time. We're flying into Orly, also a Paris airport. Renting a car. And so we'll get into Orly on the morning of the 4th, renting a car and driving over to Jocelyn. The 4th is a Friday. On the 7th, a Monday, we sign for our new home. Yeah. I'm also in conversation with somebody who has a rental space for a store that is about 2 doors up from our house that we're getting there. So super convenient. It's not a huge place, but I don't want a huge place. I will need to be very selective of what I get. But it has been totally refurnished in 2024. Super bright lights in the space on one of the probably busiest roads in the town. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah. But it's another thing, you know, learning the laws of a country, learning how they do things. It's a stress creator. I did want to say, before I forget, I will need model stitchers in France. So model stitchers, not just for my own personal models, but also for models for the store. I know that models sell product, and I want to have, I'll have a bunch of my own pretties there, because I will be selling my own designs in the store. I don't plan on selling any other US designers. I want to keep it French and European. We are debating whether to do online sales, if it makes sense, like if there's anybody here that wants to buy French and European patterns, does it make sense considering shipping will cost a lot? But anyways, I am going to be looking for model stitchers in France. Now, it'd be ideal if you're in Brittany. I have no idea how good or bad the French postal system is, so it's kind of a crapshoot sending this kind of thing in the mail. But I mean, it's not like they don't have a postal system and then it doesn't work, so I need to just figure it out. But if you are willing to be a model stitcher for me, if you're interested, if you're in elsewhere in Europe, again, it's a possibility. I'm just leery about sending stuff in the mail until I'm a little bit more acquainted with it, or till any of you can reassure me that it's just fine. And part of that is having the experience that I've dealt with here in the States. Again, it's not like things don't usually get through, but things aren't as good as they used to be, and of course it's getting more expensive. But if you are interested in stitching models for me, please send me a message, and I'll have my email address. My email address is always in my show notes. Jan@janhickscreates.com, letting me know your experience, experienced stitchers only, letting me know your experience. Maybe send me some examples of your work and what you're comfortable stitching on. I pretty much stitch all of my models on 40 count, 36 count to some degree. But I mean, I can be flexible on that. It just depends on what the thing is. So yeah, we still have, dare I say it, a shit ton of stuff to do here. Mike has stuff he has to fix on the trailer, so he's started to work on that. We have 2 weeks. All of this stuff, like all of my models, I need to wrap up and get in a box to go with us to market. And then there's just a lot of stuff laying around that needs to get back into the storage unit, like all of my fabric, all of my floss, all kinds of the stuff that's hanging, my antiques, the different things that are hanging on the walls here that I need to wrap and get back into storage. The shippers are coming on February 20th to pack us out to ship the stuff over to France, and it will be going by boat. It may get trundled across the country to a port on the East Coast. We don't know that yet. And then it will get put in a container on a boat and come over to France that way. So we will be already in the space, luckily in the house. Luckily, the person that we're buying the house from is selling us a bunch of her furniture. She's leaving us plates and knives and forks. We'll have to get a TV. We'll have to get a couch, I think. I don't think she's leaving a couch. But lots still to do here. Lots of stress, lots of hope, lots of excitement, lots of stress. God. There are many times I think, what are you doing? What were you thinking? But I know it's the right move. We're ready. We're getting ready. We're almost ready. We'll be ready. All right, guys, I'm rambling now. That is all for me today. Let's see. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Let your shops know what you'd like to order. February 21st is the pre-order cutoff date. So that is all for me today. I love you guys. I appreciate you being here. I do have plans for being more consistent. It's hard to record here. There's not really, you can see I'm sitting outside. I know the lighting isn't the greatest, but it'll be better, and I have plans. I have all kinds of plans for once we get settled in France. So stay tuned. I will start posting, of course, more pictures and stuff as we start moving across the country again. And of course, once we actually get to market and do all the things there, and then fly. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you being here. You all take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.